Yeah, Joe Budden.
It's Joe Buttons.
Joe Budden.
Joe Buttons.
This is 3 days old, so y'all probably already know. But Joe Budden confirms Melyssa.
Do it again, son.
Joe Budden confirms Melyssa Ford left the Joe Budden podcast, and Mona's replacing her.
Get ready. You know what to do, Chick.
Look at Chick Smooth.
Hey, Chick Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage.
Shout out to Chick Smooth, man. One of our correspondents.
Shout out to Chick Smooth, Joe Buttons, Mona Don't Call Me White Girl, and her new road dog, my boy Jamar Taylor. Shout out to him.
Shout out to him too.
Finally, you guys, we're finally getting some answers about what happened with Melyssa Ford on the Joe Budden podcast. Now, first of all, I want to take some time to address all you guys that was hating on Jim Jones doing the podcast. A lot of people said, yo, Jim Jones is a copycat. He sees what's working for people like Joe Budden, people like Nori, Gilly, and Wallow, and he wants to do the same thing.
That's the whole internet.
Right.
Ain't nothing new under the sun. It's working.
Cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Cookie cutter.
That's like saying a hamburger place is biting from another hamburger place. Yeah. You taught me how to make hamburgers.
Right.
If you guys don't know, Jim Jones basically has 2 podcasts out right now. You guys all know his main podcast called Let's Rap About It with Mano, Fab, and also Dave East. But Jim is also tapping into his journalist bag with a one-on-one podcast. He's got a podcast called Artist to Artist where he interviews different kind of artists. And before you guys start hitting on it, it's actually pretty dope. One of the main reasons why it's dope is because Jim Jones is an artist that people respect, not only in the music industry, but also in the streets. You guys know when artists go up and do interviews, a lot of times they half-ass the interview. Sometimes these guys are high, drunk, or both. But when these guys sit with Jim Jones, it's a whole different level of respect. They know Jim is not the one to play with. They know he can easily go from 0 to 100. He's not shy about letting people know he's a crash out. And he's also not shy about checking people. So when people sit with Jim Jones, it's a little bit more respect that they have with other interviewers. For the last 2 months, Joe has refused to talk about Melyssa Ford and the reason why she's not on the podcast anymore. Every now and then, somebody on the podcast will drop a hint about why Melyssa's not there anymore. Right. But even with the fans asking about it, Joe has not talked about it. That is until today. If you guys don't know, Joe did an interview with Jim Jones on his podcast platform, Artist to Artist, and he flat out asked him, yo, is Melyssa Ford on the podcast or not? And you can tell Joe really did not want to answer this question. He thought about it and gave the most diplomatic answer he possibly could. Here's what he said.
So yeah, any show I've ever done is under my network. I have worked with some other podcasters to build shit from the ground up. Hasn't always gone the greatest. Sometimes it's been good, and sometimes, well, most times it's been bad for me. And I ain't really made too much money from doing it that way. I ain't gonna lie. The success I've seen is from a group of people sitting in that living room and talking about it and chopping the dope and just moving around with it. That's the network. The success of, I think you only need The Office or Seinfeld, or you only need that.
So is Melyssa still part of the show or not, or is just Mona that's part of the show now?
I didn't do a swap.
All right.
I didn't do a swap. See, okay. One of y'all on them phones over there. No, I didn't do a swap.
All right.
Melyssa stepped away.
Okay.
And Mel, was negotiating for
shouts to Melyssa
quite some time. Shout to Melyssa. We love her.
But I can't say this. Mona has been one of my favorite people since the pandemic. She is one of the most funniest, like, touch your soul funny, like, just her talk. She don't even gotta be funny. She just to her walk in and you see you just want to laugh. Like, she has that type of aura to her. I was so happy when I seen her on the couch. I was like, oh, now this show just got some more legs, because this girl is a whole show on her own. Like, she really, that's very dope, man. Shouts to you, Mona. I just want to give you a word.
She'll be on Jim Jones' podcast next.
Right. She should.
Yeah.
You did that, girl. Show out time now.
And she has been. She's been great. She's been on time, just as funny as I imagined. I've been plotting on Mona for a while. She hate when I say that because she was in whatever contract she was in.
Yes, I always used to hear the time. I didn't have no platform. I used to always say, like, yo, you needed, like, girl, like, even when she was with Gillian Wallow, I believe that's the first one. So I was like, when they had her, I was like, well, I don't know what happened, but I think I would have kept her close. That girl got some shit with her, but dope. I'm glad she's with
It's
you.
only so long you can contain good talent like that, right? Like, even if she stayed, she was gonna eventually go and need her own.
100%.
Yeah, the dogs get big and gotta leave the cage at some point. So Mona is great. We love Mel. Shout out to her. So yeah, real funny.
Real diplomatic.
Respect.
He ain't say nothing bad, nothing whatever.
He ain't
stepped
shoot
away.
at her.
She said all that stuff. Well, she didn't say anything directly anyway. She was somewhat classy. She just said that she dealt with some misogyny and some
We also
male-centered thinking.
we also heard there's possibly a lawsuit on the table. So
You heard that? I ain't hear that.
yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
I ain't hear that.
Whoever that is over there back.
Now, if this was any other interviewer, Joe would have given them the runaround. He would have given them some kind of philosophical answer that really make no sense.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. However, you could not step twice into the same rivers. But the mind is not a vessel to...
All right, Chief.
We get it.
Yeah, we get it. I don't know. I think he said he didn't swap them out, but it just so happened to happen a week or two apart.
Right.
You know, the pieces fit.
Right. One left, one just
Call it what you
interchanged in piece. Yeah.
Call it what you want. I think it's an upgrade, personally. Not saying that I
Respect.
have anything against Melissa. She's cool, you know, attractive lady and all that other stuff.
And she
but
doing her own thing right now.
she's
too.
doing her own thing. She's got her own podcast going on. But I just didn't she didn't add a lot to the conversation from my perspective, the type of stuff I want to hear. So it wasn't really, you know, the greatest to me. But, you know, that doesn't mean she's not great and she doesn't have... Because I actually did watch the one she did with Charlamagne. I was more interested in that than anything she ever said on
What
the
you thought?
podcast. It was an interesting look on media and building it and all that. And he asked they asked each other a bunch of questions. It was pretty interesting. Cool. Anyway, that was our story. Y'all go get some turkey up in your bodies. Pause.
Holla. Don't celebrate the whack ass. Get them. Peace. Something who we ain't out. You know
we're not really out. I'm
what?
giving my theme song.
He said not really.
We're not really out. We're getting my
None of
theme
this
song
but-
for me. In case y'all ain't seen the first time. Y'all
Right,
need to
you
be-
son of a.
That's right. And we real brothers, son. We ain't never going to be mad.
Right, never. And son, I love you, son.
I love you back, brother.
Respect, man. It's my little brother, man.
Right.
Y'all
We
know
love
what
our
it
community,
is.
too.
No doubt.
shout
We
out to
appreciate y'all, man. And we on the come up, man. Run them numbers up, man. We need the more stuff, man. Y'all comment, man. Subscribe, man. Come holler at us.
You know what I hate? The hug rock. You know what the hug rock is? It's like when your man been away for a long time, like maybe in the military or you coming home from jail, and it's the first time y'all seen each other in years. It's like, yeah, man, you want to hug your man, you happy to see him back on the street and all that. You know, dap him up. It feels good. He's free again. But then y'all get the rock, going back and forth. What seems to be like, you know, like a never-ending embrace, man. I'm happy to see you, but I'm going to have to put a 3 rock minimum on this, man.